We're about a week into the 2024 regular season, and it's already amazing. Mike Trout announced his return with authority with a bomb in his first at bat. He also had a multi-homer game in Miami where he crushed this mammoth 473-foot bomb. And overall, it seems like he's back to doing Mike Trout things. Already has a .5 WAR on the season with an OPS over 1,000. And he's not the only one in that Angels lineup who's mashing right now. Logan O'Hoppe is 7 for his first 16, slugging over 600. The OPS is 1175 with an OPS plus of 245. Taylor Ward has also gotten off to a great start. 3 bombs himself, hitting 320 with a 760 slugging percentage and an OPS plus of 206. Need him and O'Hoppe to keep doing that for the Angels. It's surprising to say, but they've also gotten a couple really good starting pitching performances so far. Tyler Anderson throwing 7 innings of shutout ball, striking out 5 against the Marlins, and Reed Detmers as well, throwing 5 innings of 1-run ball, striking out 7. Angels are off to a 4-2 start with both of their losses being against Baltimore. I'm just so happy Mike Trout is back to hitting bombs, especially against Baltimore's new ace, Corbin Burnes. Do you know what else the Angels did against Corbin Burnes?
Absolutely nothing.
That was the only hit Corbin Burnes would give up, and he would strike out 11 halos over 6 innings in his Baltimore debut. And overall, he has a 2.31 ERA over 11 2/3 innings to start the season, which seems all right. Grayson Rodriguez also looked great in his first start, going 6 innings, striking out 9. That 1-2 at the top of the rotation could be deadly, and their lineup just looks really, really good top to bottom. And speaking of deadly rotations, the Dodgers exist. Tyler Glasnow has already had 3 starts with a sub-1 whip, and he looks nasty. Yamamoto got rocked in his debut in the Seoul series, but he went 5 shutout innings against St. Louis in his second start, striking out 5 without walking anyone, only giving up 2 hits. And so far, their best performer is Bobby Miller, who looked just, kind of okay. He only threw 6 innings of 2-hit ball while striking out just 11, and his FIP in that start was only a .13. That seems sort of okay. Not to mention that their lineup is an actual super team. Mookie Betts just keeps going and going and going, starting off the season with 5 homers in 9 games. His slugging percentage is over 1,000, and his OPS is almost at 1,700. Also, Teoscar Hernandez has 4 bombs so far this season, in case anyone forgot that he plays for the Dodgers now. The Dodgers are 7-2 so far, and this is with Shohei Ohtani just hitting his first home run on Wednesday, which capped off their sweep of their rival, the San Francisco Giants, who are 2-5 and have not gotten off to the best start. Michael Conforto has gotten off to a hot start for them, though, hitting 370 with 3 home runs and an OPS of almost 1,200. Jorge Soler has also gotten off to a hot start, hitting 2 home runs while having an OPS of just under 1,000. The Giants did acquire Blake Snell this offseason, but he hasn't made his first start yet. But Jordan Hicks looks really good. He's had the best start on the mound so far for the Giants, and has been coming out of the bullpen as a reliever for the past 4 years. He went 5 innings of shutout ball, striking out 6 against the San Diego Padres, who also haven't gotten off to their best start with a 4-5 record. But Yu Darvish has looked really good in his 3 starts to begin the year. He's thrown 15 2/3 innings with 16 strikeouts and an ERA of 2.3. Fernando Tatis has also had some ridiculous home runs already. I just don't see how he could hit this pitch from Tyler Rogers out of the park like he did. That was nuts, and he looks like he's going to have a big year. Luis Campusano also looking like he's going to have a big year for the Padres after finally getting the chance to be their everyday catcher. He's hitting 400 with an OPS of 1,000. And speaking of young catchers, Yainer Diaz is having a torrid start to his season with a 462 average, hitting 2 bombs with a 1248 OPS. The Astros have several guys with an OPS over 1,000 thus far, and that includes Jose Altuve, Jeremy Pena, and Kyle Tucker, who are all just crushing it. And I'm very surprised to see Jeremy Pena and not Yordan Alvarez in this list, who looks like he might be heading in that direction, though, having a multi-home run against the Jays on Wednesday. They also have some pitchers going nuts as well. Christian Javier hasn't allowed a run in his 2 starts. It looks like he might have a bounce back year. Framber Valdez has been great in his 2 starts, and how can I not mention Ronald Blanco throwing a no-hitter in his 8th career start as a 30-year-old? What an electric night for him. He was just a couple walks away from a perfect game, but despite all these great performances, they've still started off with a 2-5 record, which is nuts to me. The team that they no-hit, the Blue Jays, have not gotten off to the best of starts offensively, although Justin Turner has been hitting the last couple days and now has an OPS north of 1,000. But on the pitching side of things, Jose Barrios looks like he might be on the verge of having his best season with a 2.25 ERA and 12 innings of work. He got the opening day win against the Rays, who have not opened the season like they did last year, but how could they? They won the first 13 games of the season in 2023 or something along those lines. They have yet to really get the bats going, but 2023's midseason acquisition of Aaron Savali looks really good so far. He has an ERA of 1.5 through 12 innings of work and 14 strikeouts. The Guardians, who sent the Rays Savali last year, have gotten off to a fantastic start, going 5-2, partly due to their great starting pitching from Shane Bieber and Logan Allen. Allen has started the year 2-0 with a 2.31 ERA, and Shane Bieber has looked unreal. I thought he was on the decline with how the last couple years have gone and the decline of his fastball, but he went to driveline and it shows. His velo is up, his stuff looks nasty, and he's thrown 12 shutout innings, striking out 20. Forgive me, Shane Bieber. I was unfamiliar with your game. And in the same way, I think that many people are unfamiliar with the Detroit Tigers game. They remain the only undefeated team left in baseball as of Thursday morning, and the rotation has gotten off to a fantastic start. Tarek Skubal, Jack Flaherty, and Reese Olson have thrown a combined 17 2/3 innings and and have struck out 16 while giving up only 1 run, walking only 2 batters as well. This could be huge if they get a renaissance season from Jack Flaherty. He's been throwing a lot of sliders and loving it. His opponents, not so much, which happen to be the Chicago White Sox, who have not gotten off to a good start, and I don't have hopes that it will get much better than that. But Luis Robert Jr. is still mashing. He had a 2-homer game against the Tigers. On the pitching side of things, they do have Garrett Crochet back. He is back in the starting rotation and looks absolutely filthy. He's gone 13 innings so far this year, giving up only 2 earned runs while striking out 16. I didn't get the memo that he was back in the starting rotation, and I wish I did. And overall, the AL Central might be home to the filthiest lefty starters in baseball. Tarek Skubal, Garrett Crochet, and Cole Reagans, who is a member of the Kansas City Royals. He's starting right where he left off in 2023. He's thrown 12 1/3 innings, striking out 16 with an ERA of 1.46. He's been nasty. Brady Singer is actually not starting off where he left off in 2023. He was quite disappointing last year, and his first start this year was incredible. 7 innings with 10 strikeouts, only giving up 3 hits and only walking 1. They also have a couple guys in that lineup just going nuts. Michael Garcia hit his 3rd home run of the year in Baltimore Wednesday night, and he hit 4 all of last year. The breakout is happening right before our eyes. And speaking of breakouts, Bobby Witt Jr. broke out last year, and he is right back to it, hitting bombs, stealing bases, a double shy of hitting for the cycle already. He has an OPS of 1344, which is insane. But despite all these good things, the Royals are still only 2-4. This might be the year of the young shortstops though, because Anthony Volpe of the Yankees is also just going off. He's hitting over 400 with an OPS of 1182. Oswaldo Cabrera also has an OPS north of 1000. Juan Soto also looks good in the Yankee uniform, and he's performing like it as well. He's got an OPS over 900. He's been throwing people out on the field, and the Yankees are without their best starter in Garrett Cole, but have gotten good performances out of guys like Stroman, Rodon, and Luis Gil. Gil looks legit, by the way. He had a great spring and looks to continue building off of that. The Yankees are currently 6-1, and just behind them in the division is the Boston Red Sox, who I'm surprised to see right behind them, but their rotation has led them to a 5-2 record. Their new pitching coach, Andrew Bailey, might have devil magic or something, because Nick Pivetta, Cutter Crawford, Tanner Houck, and Garrett Whitlock have given up a combined 2 earned runs in 28 innings of work. That is just ridiculous, even if some of it was against the Oakland Athletics, who've been playing just about as expected. They are 1-6 and sent down who was probably their best player in Esteury Ruiz to work on getting on base, because going 3 for 7 with a double, triple, stolen base, and only 1 strikeout with an OPS over 1200 isn't good enough, I guess. But it would have been good enough to be in the Colorado Rockies lineup. They are also 1-6 and have gotten almost nothing out of their key contributors in that lineup so far. Nolan Jones is off to a rough start at the plate and in the field. Chris Bryant collected his first 2 hits of the season Wednesday night, but has 10 strikeouts and 20 at-bats. Charlie Blackmon and Ryan McMahon are swinging good bats right now, though. Both have an OPS plus over 120, and Blackmon has an OPS over 1000. And speaking of 1000 OPS, the Texas Rangers have a lot of guys that have that capability. Adolis Garcia has an OPS of over 900 right now, but their hottest bat in the lineup has been Josh Young, who unfortunately just got hit by a pitch in the wrist and will be out for quite some time. He had an OPS of over 1400 so far. This lineup is stacked enough that it will still win games without him, but getting good pitching performances like we've seen from Nathan Eovaldi so far this year will surely help. He's been lights out so far with a 1.38 ERA over 13 innings, and that has led them to a 4-2 record, currently tied for first place. But speaking of unfortunate injuries, the Twins' Royce Lewis strained his quad on opening day. It's so unfortunate because we all wanted to see a full year from Royce. He went 2 for 2 with a bomb before the injury, and the Twins got the win. And so far, they've started the year to 3-2 and have gotten some solid performances from the top of that rotation in Pablo Lopez and Joe Ryan. But speaking of great pitching performances, Zach Wheeler looks insane so far this year. He's only given up 1 earned run and 8 hits over 12 innings of work, striking out 15 in the process. And it wasn't like he pitched against bad teams either. He didn't give up a run against the Braves in 6 innings and only gave up 1 against the Reds. He looks unhittable, but nothing looked unhittable to Bryce Harper on Tuesday. He was entering the game hitless so far this season. He then decided to crush 3 bombs in 1 game, and all of a sudden his OPS is almost back to 1000. However, they still haven't started off great with a 2-4 record, but it could be worse. The Mets haven't won a game so far entering Thursday morning. Granted, they've only played 4 games. They've had a couple rainouts. They are bound to turn it around. Francisco Alvarez and Starling Marte look like they are off to great starts, but it just seems worse because they happen to be at the center of a very heated discussion with the Milwaukee Brewers, who swept them in their first series. And sliding into the Brewers lineup this season is Rhys Hoskins, who has decided to mash to begin the year with an OPS over 1000 with a couple bombs. Yelich has also gone off to a 1000 OPS start. Freddie Peralta looks like a legit Cy Young threat, and the rookie sensation Jackson Chourio just hit his first career home run on Wednesday. And this is good enough for a 4-1 start, which is still not as good as their rival, the Pittsburgh Pirates. They started their year incredibly hot with a 5-0 record before recording their first loss against the Nationals on Wednesday. Their offseason signings, Michael A. Taylor and Rowdy Tellez, have really come up with some big games and big hits in critical situations. And this is all with their ace Mitch Keller having a terrible start to the year, having an ERA over 6 through 2 starts. But rookie Jared Jones looks like like he will be helping that rotation out and has some filthy stuff. He struck out 10 in 5 2/3 innings in his rookie debut. He gave up 3 earned runs, but he only gave up 3 hits and 2 walks. And speaking of rookies, Emerson Hancock of the Mariners just got his first career win. He went 5 1/3 innings, giving up 3 earned runs, striking out 1. The Mariners are known for their great rotation, but have gotten off to a bit of a rocky start. Logan Gilbert looked filthy though. His new split finger looks disgusting. He went 7 innings, striking out 8, only giving up 1 earned run, 4 hits, and walking 1. Their lineup has been a bit anemic to start the year. Only Mitch Haniger and Ty France have an OPS over 700, with Mitch having an OPS over 800. Despite their overall struggles so far, they are still 3-4, which is good enough for 3rd in the division. The St. Louis Cardinals are also 3-4, but they are 5th in their division. They have gotten off to an awful start at the plate. Brendan Donovan and Wilson Contreras are really carrying the offense right now with OPSs over 900. Goldschmidt has an OPS of just over 700, but guys like Arenado, Jordan Walker, and Nolan Gorman all have OPSs under 500. Missing a guy like Sonny Gray hurts this team even more if their bats can't pick up some slack. They did get a good start out of Lance Lynn though, 4 innings of shutout ball with 5 strikeouts against the Dodgers, which may be the source of their rough offensive start though, just playing the Dodgers. But you know who hasn't played the Dodgers yet? The Cincinnati Reds and the Chicago Cubs, who are both 4-2 and off to a solid start. And Cubs have had some really solid performances in that lineup. Christopher Morel, Seiya Suzuki, Ian Happ, and Dansby Swanson all have an OPS of 900 or above. However, Shota Imanaga might have had the most impressive outing thus far of anyone. He went 6 innings of shutout ball, striking out 9 and only giving up 2 hits in his major league debut. It was against Colorado, but that's impressive against anyone. And this may not be his rookie debut, but Frankie Montas debuted with the Reds and he threw 6 innings of shutout ball. Another memo that I didn't get was Frankie Montas being back and shoving. After 2 starts, he has an ERA under 1, and that Reds lineup has some standout performers in Spencer Steer, Nick Martini, and Jake Fraley. All those guys have OPSs over 1,000. Nick Martini doing most of his damage with 2 homers on opening day in back-to-back innings against the Nats. And speaking of the Nats, they haven't looked amazing, but they haven't looked terrible to begin the season. CJ Abrams has started off hot with an OPS just under 1,000, stealing 3 bags and already has a homer. Luis Garcia Jr. and Jesse Winker also have gotten off to hot starts. Jesse Winker has an OPS over 1,100. It might be in limited at bats, but it's still a good thing. And so far, the Nats are 2-3, which is 2nd place in the East right now, just behind the Atlanta Braves, who look like they are going back to their mashing ways. They have 4 guys in their lineup with an OPS over 1,000 right now. That includes Michael Harris, Jared Kelenic, Orlando Arcia, and Ozzy Albies. It's wild to me that none of those names are Matt Olson, Austin Riley, or Ronald Acuna Jr. Spencer Strider is also back to striking out everyone, striking out 8 in 5 innings against the Phillies. Reynaldo Lopez and Charlie Morton looked great, but it was against the White Sox. Overall, the Braves have a run differential of +21 right now, but despite that, they only have a 3-2 record at the moment, losing 2 one-run games. And they start a series against the reigning NL champs, the Arizona Diamondbacks, on Friday, who've gotten off to a 4-3 start. The lineup has been pretty solid as well. Christian Walker, Ketel Marte, Lourdes Gurriel Jr., and Jock Peterson, all with OPSs over 900. The top 3 in the rotation has also looked amazing. Zach Gallen, Merrill Kelly, and Brandon Pfaadt have combined for 29 2/3 innings, giving up 5 earned runs total, striking out 27. They look really solid and are doing their best to get another deep playoff run. I think I've covered everything though. Oh wait, the Marlins are 0-7, and no one in the starting lineup has an OPS over 700 entering Thursday. I'm sorry, Marlins fans. I hope they turn it around soon.